Good morning everyone. Well, today I'm going to get started on refurbishing this fantastic old cast iron bath. Yep, it's not fiberglass, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed cast iron. Right, okay, before I kick off with that, it's nice and early in the morning. Me and Sam are out in the garden, so we're going to go outside, do some planting, and then before it gets too hot, come back in here, make a start on that. So I'll see you in the garden. Okay, let's go and see what Sam's up to. She's in the jungle. Yes, it's gone absolutely bonkers out here. Not just the fruit and veg, but you guessed it, the weeds. But we don't mind some weeds, do we, mate?
Well, they're native and they're good for butterflies and bees.
Yeah, it's part of the ecosystem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, look at these. All the alliums, isn't it? That's what we got.
Well, they were leeks, but they've gone to seed, so they look attractive.
Yeah, I love them.
When the seeds fall off, they'll grow new plants.
Yeah, they drop on into the soil again, and then we'll have more coming from them. That's the idea with this area. Obviously, when you get sidetracked with other things, a few problem weeds do take over, but we'll soon remedy that.
Got a good harvest of garlic and onions here.
Oh yeah, in the space of like 10 minutes we got that already.
Just got to clean those up and
Lovely.
hang them up.
These little dwarf cherry trees produce so much fruit, and what we like about these ones, they're not too tall. You know, you can pick them without getting on a ladder, which is always a good thing.
And they're sour cherries,
Yeah,
so they're not so good for eating straight from the tree, but they make great pies and
cherry pie,
preserves.
yeah, lovely. Let us know if you've got any great recipes for cherry pie, ladies and gentlemen.
Our friends across the pond will have lots of lovely cherry pie recipes, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Then we've got an area just here. We did have a stack of leaves piled up here, but they've kind of started to break down. We've got some twigs here. Sam suggested that because we've got so much green matter when we're gardening, we can start using this as an open compost heap. Keep turning it. We've got some twigs in there as well that'll break down. Then maybe next year, a bit of a mound, we'll put some more soil on top, compost. We'll plant in our pumpkins and other stuff like that. They seem to grow good on a mound.
Winter squashes.
Yeah. What's this? Is that wood anemone?
I don't know. I don't think so, no.
Yeah. Might have to do a little bit of work on that before we start filling it up, but yeah, it's just about keeping on top of it really. Same with anything. Let's go bramble hunting.
Oh, I've got some I want you to get rid of.
Okay.
Near my courgettes over there.
Right, okay, this way first. Oh yes, the dreaded brambles. Yeah, they're doing really well. It's a bit of a battle at the moment with the slugs and the snails, but I think we're winning. We've got hedgehogs now, which is great. The birds can eat them. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to give nature a helping hand. Just these brambles. What doesn't help is they grow at the base of the bushes, so you can't actually get to the root. And we just keep on top of them. The only bonus is they do have some berries. we've certainly got enough of them to be getting on with. So let's get the brambles back from the courgettes. Okay, now on to the next job. Gonna need me pruners, I think, for this one. We're just working on the base of this plum tree. Now when these are grafted onto another rootstock, quite often they kind of sprout from the base. We just want to direct all the energy to the fruit now. Maybe I should have done this a bit earlier. Lovely. Complete tree there growing. Can't have that. I'm just looking at the sloes on here. Now we've had this in the ground for more than 10 years and it's never produced any fruit to mention, but this year, boy, it's smothered. It looks like we might have to make some sloe gin. Need to plant this area up, but we're going to improve the soil. We've got some better bagged compost to go on top of here. Probably going to put maybe a patty pan or courgette in here. Get that going, because we've had a lot of damage with the slugs. Yeah, some years certain things thrive, some don't. Anyway, we've planted more seed and we've got more plants to go in. Such a nice feeling when you come outside into the garden, not too hot, you get some work done. It's an instant transformation, which is the beauty of gardening really. Sometimes you have to wait for things to grow, but when it comes to clearing and getting amongst it, it really does make a difference. This area here is going to be the new compost site. It's going to take a while to break down, but this will eventually be on the base. Good to have a little bit of drainage like that with branches and twigs. As long as I can keep a passageway through here that I can use my lawnmower to keep on top of, stop the brambles getting into there, should be a good place. Now what I have noticed, this big tree just here was the pear tree that we cut down. It was being strangled by the ivy and it just never done anything really good. So we had to take it down, but what I've noticed all over the garden around this area, it's sending up new shoots of pear trees everywhere. So I think we've cut one down, we're probably going to get another 10. Which is a good thing, if they're in the right place. And just here you can see the size of the ivy. You know, it was blocking out sunlight. It was really struggling. But nature does bounce back, like I say. There's lots of them growing up everywhere. I mean, this is in the wrong place, but just an illustration. I think once you cut trees down, you've got like a network of obviously roots below. Survival technique is to put some more up elsewhere. This is the paint we're going to be using. Hammerite, and it's got a hammered finish. Planished kind of copper finish, which I think will be a great effect with this. Yeah, it's in pretty good condition underneath. You know, it has been painted before. We've got a little bit of cleaning up to do, a little bit of prep work, shouldn't take too long. Remove some old silicone, give it a bit of a key, and we'll get a coat on, see what it looks like. Looking forward to this. Yes, this certainly is the easy part. It was quite an epic effort needed to get it up here, but a little bit of planning. Managed to do it all right. It was just the heat that day. It wasn't getting it, you know, here. I mean, the hoist done most of the work. I've done a little bit of sort of moving downstairs. I know lots of you have said you shouldn't have done it on your own. Well, sometimes with jobs like this, I mean, there wasn't enough room downstairs in that tight gap for two people to move that bath around. So sometimes, you know, it's not ideal to have another person there. I like to do what I can on my own, at my own speed. Always been like it. Wasn't after any medals. You know, lots of people in the family have offered to help. Most of the time I say, I'm okay, thanks. I'm not stupid if I do need, you know, a hand. If it becomes a safety issue, then I will. Now I will be replacing the waste on here just in case it's got a crack in it or something like that. So we'll sort that out. As far as the taps go, if I can find some that fits in the pre-made holes, I will use that sort. But if not, I can always put like a wooden ledge around part of it and then set the taps in the wood. Lots of ways around it. Now when it comes to the feet, what colour am I going to paint them? Well, I'm going to paint this first and see kind of how it comes out, the brightness of it, and then maybe I'll paint these in a contrasting black, maybe a matte black. I think that might be a nice sort of partner with that copper paint. But we'll get a coat on this and make my mind up then, really. Now this paint, 750 millilitres, cost me €36. Don't know how that compares with where you are. It's a very good paint. I've used it loads of times in the past. But never this copper hammered one. You know, I've used the other colours. It's hard to see sometimes when you're looking online at colours. It's only when you actually paint it on. Oh, okay. What do you make of that? Do you think that's copper? got to be, isn't it? Let me show you what it looks like before we get a coat on. It's pretty close, isn't it? Just a bit of a dust down. Looks better already. Let's go for it. I think the art of this is get it on but not too thick. Don't want to be brushing it off. It's quite a dark colour to go over black. Yeah, I'm liking it already. One coat completed. I'm really pleased with the outcome. What do you think? It does depend on what kind of light you catch it in, but for a first coat, yeah, that's pretty good. So I'll pick them hairs out. So we've not even used half a tin, so the second coat probably use about a third. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to get these feet prepped, decide which colour I'm going to go with. But for this video, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.